Hey everybody, Aaron here, and welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at Berserk 2016 episode 9. So, honestly, what I've been noticing with the last several episodes at least, it seems like the animation's getting slightly better. We're starting to see a lot more 2D, and I wonder almost in many ways if the studio went and started making more 2D images or it just started focusing on that in the last second to do this, because honestly, it's very strange that we're seeing less and less the CGI and more of the 2D now rather than before when everyone was complaining about it and seeing how bad it was, and then all of a sudden just like most likely they did not do that, but I'm just saying that it's kind of interesting. Maybe they predicted it's possible, or maybe they did really go back and rework some of the scenes to make it so it's 2D orientated and more focused. But regardless, let's talk about the episode. So we have the very beginning, probably the most important information part, where we hear about Lady Farnice's father, Lord Vandimion, who apparently does not want her to participate in this anymore. He wants her to back out. That really irritates her, and right away she blames Serapico for the fact that he most likely went and talked to him about all the stuff that's been going on, which caused him to kind of worry and thus want to call back his daughter, which really pisses her off. But this is where they show Farnice and Serpico at their best, because they show how they still care for one another. Instead of getting really pissed off at him or hating him, she slaps him in the face, but she does not dwell on that. She says, more so she said in her own words that she's sorry by asking, "Do you hate me?" And he goes, "Of course not. How am I going to hate you?" Which really just shows that, they're very connected and they're very close to one another. I mean, they show that several episodes already, but this kind of ferments it. Now, meanwhile, we have Casca being put into the Iron Maiden, and as she's being put into the Iron Maiden explodes with a whole bunch of demons that come out, very vengeful spirits. And these vengeful spirits start wreaking havoc on everyone around, which includes Lady Farnice, it includes Serapico, it includes Mosgart, and several other cast of characters. And they all start retreating when they see that these demons could actually just absorb you and make you into a skeleton. Now, Puck is trying to save what's her face? Casca. I couldn't think of her name for a second. And he's trying to save her, but unfortunately he's just a little fairy. He couldn't do more than anything else, and so he has to back off when he sees how these things are. But he notices one strange thing, and he's quick to report it to Guts later on, is that they didn't attack her per se. They absorbed her, but unlike everyone else dying instantaneously from being absorbed, she lived, and we'll see that in a second why that was. Now, meanwhile, everyone's retreating up to the top tower, but Guts having got into the tower via various means, of course, and if you saw the episode, you know what I'm talking about. But he got in, he pulls Farnice to the side and threatens her to say, "Just tell me where the hell, Casca is." I almost forgot her name twice. Man, it's too early in the morning for these reviews, I swear to God. He goes, "You better tell me where Casca is," and he puts a knife down her throat, and she immediately says, "Oh, she's down at the basement level," and that's where Puck comes in a couple minutes in a very goofy scene where he's traveling around inside a little iron helmet, and he's trying to, as he says, get armor to keep him safe and to kind of rescue Casca. But he tells him that Casca is safe for the most part. She just was absorbed and went to the higher floor, it looks like. And we see from this image that the little creature thing, which I almost spoiled what it was, but I kept it quiet. I was able to avoid it. This little creature is able to kind of repel the forces around her and keep them at bay. So even though they are trying to clearly get to her, they're unable to for the most part. Now, everyone is retreating into the main chapel, including Mosgart and his men, and we see that little demon. If you look above his head, we see that it right away is there hiding and sees what Mosgart is capable of doing. So it injects the thing that makes everyone crazy, because what we saw when it ejected the guy with the goat helmet, it made that goat helmet fuse with him and he became a goat demon, and it ejects him with the same thing, and we're about to see the kind of consequences of that in a couple minutes. Now, going back to the kind of animation which I was talking about before, again, the animation is still not stellar. I mean, this is something that I'm still complaining about, and I think everyone's complaining about in general. As we see when Luca and the other girl is trying to hurt, they're trying to run up to the top of the tower, various incidents occur, and they're almost all thrown off. And, meanwhile, Luca is willing to sacrifice herself to keep the other girl alive, which, I would not have, because the other girl almost thought of dropping her. She had a smile on her face as she was going to drop her. It's like, damn, this girl, the one that has the weird freaking, cinnamon bun hair. I swear to God, I hate that girl. I mean, I hate her even in the manga, but, Luca starts falling, and luckily the Skull Knight, who's there for obvious reasons, is able to save her, and he keeps her safe from the time being. Now, the episode essentially concludes where we see, Guts having to go against Mosgard and his men, and he's able to eliminate at least one of them, but for the most part, the rest of them are still in capable fighting condition, and they now have wings. Yeah, this little creature thing made them where they are definitely something else now. They're not human, I'll tell you that right now. But very interesting. This is from the manga. This is the same concept. It's done slightly different, but the thing is that the fight scene over here, I want to talk about that really fast before I wrap up the review. But the fight scene here was a mixture of awesome and really bad CGI work. We saw some great moments in the beginning of the fight, and then all of a sudden we saw some really lanky and laggy moments that... This is why I think everyone hates the CGI work in Berserk in general, because there are moments like this. Honestly, I don't want to rant and rave about this because, this is not new. We're episode 9 already by now. If you're sticking around with the show, it's obviously because you care about the show and you still want to keep going with it like I do. I want to care about the show myself because I am a huge fan of the manga and I'm a huge fan of the source material. But I will say that this is not good. Animation-wise, hopefully they keep doing the 2D stuff, because I noticed a trend where all the episodes lately have been focusing 2D-wise, and I have no issue with that, because honestly the 2D is really done very well. But overall, solid episode for the most part. At least we get to the part where we now know we're going to get closer to the climax, where he's going to be fighting these guys. It's going to be interesting. I'll tell you right now, if it's anything like the manga, it should be very good. Hopefully, the CGI is done like where... Similar to the Goat Demon. The Goat Demon fight between Berserk, Guts and the Goat Demon itself in Berserk was really well done. It looked really nice. It had fluid CGI work that it didn't even make you think about the CGI, really. Today was not as good, per se, but still, overall, solid episode. I have no issues with it. Anyways, guys and girls, I will talk to you later. I'm going to go back to sleep because I need some sleep. I have literally an hour of sleep behind me right now. As always, guys, if you like this review, hit that like button, subscribe, share the video, the whole nine. Have a blessed day, everyone. Bye-bye.